Hey, welcome everybody. It's Tony Porter, and it's Universal Baseball Association YouTube channel, and we are replaying 1974 Fall Classic Baseball. We're playing 5 teams. We're almost halfway done. It's a total of 800 games. We're around the 400 mark, or approaching that. Hope everybody's doing well out there and surviving this politically tumultuous time. But we're going to have some fun and relax and just roll some dice. It's going to be St. Louis visiting New York, 1974. Let's talk a little bit about both these teams. All right, so the Mets have been holding their own, 35 and 36. That's really the record that they had in 73. I think in 74 they had a, let's double check here quickly, what they were, I like it when they have the record on the card. Yeah, they were 72 and 90, so they were a poor team in 1974. 72 and 90, and the Cardinals. Let's see what the Cardinals were like in 74. Cardinals were 84 and 77, so a little bit better. And the Cardinals don't have a terrible team. It's going to be John Matlack on the mound. He is an outstanding young left-hander, 24 years old, for the New York Mets. And it's going to be John Curtis, 26-year-old lefty for the Cardinals. In 74, Curtis was 10 and 14 with a 1.4 whip. John Matlack was 13 and 15 with a 1.1 whip. So Mets didn't score a lot of runs for him. So let's get started. It's going to be Lou Brock. Yes, sirree. Lou Brock. Stolen base king. Well, next to Hollywood Henderson, I guess, right? All right, here goes. It's going to be a 51 and a 3, and that's a swing and a miss, and he goes down on strikes, one away. Playing Fall Classic Baseball, chartless game, 99%. Ted Cruz with a 62. Ted Sizemore. I said no politics. Ted Sizemore with a swing and a miss, chases a ball out of the strike zone, and he goes down on strikes. And here's Reggie Smith. Reggie Smith with a 309 hitter with 23 home runs and 100 RBIs in 74. And a 14 is going to be a bouncer to third, picked up by Garrett. Wayne Garrett is a third baseman, over to first in time. And that's the first half inning of the game. Infield for the Cardinals is Reeds at third, Tyson is short, Sizemore at second, and Joe Torre at first base. Behind the plate is Ted Simmons. In the outfield from left to right is Brock, Melendez, and Reggie Smith. Leading off for the Mets, Wayne Garrett, the left-hander. In the replay, he's batting .218 with 5 home runs. Here's the pitch, and that's 63. That'll be tapped to the first baseman, who will flip to the pitcher covering. One away. Both pitchers have their ace stuff today. Here's Jerry Grody batting second and hitting 261. On the season, a 45 will be a hard hit ball to right field, but Reggie Smith is right there, so it's a line drive off the bat of Grody, but right at the right fielder, Reggie Smith, 2 down. And here's George Theodore. Theodore batting .269. 23 games, 26 at bats, mostly a pinch hitter, replacement type player, but he taps one right back to Curtis. He picks it up over to first. 1 inning done. So if you like APA baseball, this is a great game for you. If you like Stratomatic, this is a great game for you as well. Very simple to play, but it has a lot of elements of advanced games, features, right? Advanced features. Ted Simmons leads off. He's a switch hitter. And with a 23, and that'll be a ground ball to the first baseman, Theodore. 1 down. Mets infield is from third to first, Garrett. Ted Martinez. Second baseman, Kenny Boswell. First baseman is Theodore. And the catcher is Grody. From left to right in the outfield is Cleon Jones, Don Hahn in center, and Staub in right. And here's Joe Torre. Joe Torre batted .282 in the replay. He's batting .340. So he's been raking in the replay, but he strikes out here against Matlack. Matlack brings the heat, blows it by Torre. 2 outs, and it's Luis Melendez with a 34, and that'll be grounded to short. Martinez to his left, over to first. Go to the bottom of the second. No score, no hits, no runs. Cleon Jones leads off here in the bottom of the fourth. Make sure you can see everything on the tabletop. There's a little shine, a little glare there. Let me see if I can fix that a little bit. There we go. All right. So it's Klingon Jones. Let's do it. John Curtis in the windup. And a 52. That's going to be a potential error. Let's see what's going to happen. No, error 52. That's the second baseman. Sizemore. One down. Rusty Staub. Staub batting 281. 13. And he'll tap it right to the first baseman. Who'll take it himself. Don Hahn. Righty hitter. 36. Batting 142 on the season. 36. Not much of a hitter. He actually batted 251, which is not that bad in 300 bats, but he's been in a big slump here. And he's going to just tap it down the line, and Reese charges it, fires the first in time. Top of the third. Let me make some space for myself a little bit here, a little bit tight. All right, Kenny Reitz with a 45, and that'll be a fly ball center field. Don Hahn has it measured. Tyson with one out. Mike Tyson, 36. And that's a high fly ball center field. This time Hahn has to come in a few extra steps. Hangs up there, and that's out number 2. And here's the pitcher, John Curtis, with a 66. And that is line, base hit. So a nice rake by the pitcher, somebody you least expect to get a hit. And here's Lou Brock, pitch from Matlack with a 44. That's lined up the middle and base hit past the diving Martinez. And an 18 is going to allow the pitcher to go 2 bases. See, this number tells you where he basically what happens. The pitcher the runner advancement. Excuse me. Just look at the chart. And so there's every so often you do look at a chart. I use this chart here. It's called the Easy Runner Advance chart. I like it the best. There's like 3 or 4 of these different ones. They all have different names, so you can kind of pick the one that you feel best with. I really like this one. It's simple, but it's got its uniqueness to it. Here's first and third now with 2 outs. So Matlack's under a little bit of pressure, and Ted Sizemore comes up to the plate, and he's batting 280, so he's holding his own. He was a 250 hitter that season. He was a pitch, and a 46, no park home run with a 2. That's going to be a home run, but no park home run because Sizemore only hit 2 home runs in 500 bats. So that's going to be a fly ball center field, and that retires the side. All right, Ted Martinez leads off here in the bottom of the third for the Mets. John Curtis on the mound. Pitch, and that's a 33, and that is a ground ball base hit through the left side. And there's a potential for a stolen base. See if there's a pickoff. There is a pickoff. All right, John Curtis is a lefty with an average arm. That goes up to what? So he'll be out. Lefty with an average arm, 1 to 6. He'll be out. 18 to 20 is a potential error. And he's out, a 1. Picked him off. So Curtis whips it to Torrey at first, the tag, and he is picked off first base. All right. So those are the type of things you get in this game that, of course, you wouldn't get in a Napa Basic or a Strat Basic, right? And if it happens automatically. Like in Napa, it doesn't have anything to do with the pitcher's ability to pick off runners and so forth. But in this game, it does, which is kind of cool. And it works very easily. There's one little card here that you look up, and you get the sense that the lefties have better pickoff moves generally, and so on and so forth. But then the arm ability, right? So an excellent lefty pitcher with a good pickoff would have a strong arm, and a weaker one would have a weak arm. And then of course his numbers would be it would be harder to hit his numbers to pick off a guy. So a guy with a lot of pickoff who's a lefty will have a strong arm. A guy who with a lot of pickoffs as a righty would have a strong arm, and so forth. All right, here's Boswell, and that's a 51, and that's a KD check, and that's too high. KD check, just checking for a strikeout. That's why the K, right? 1751, bounce to second base. Sizemore sets and throws him out, 2 down, and the pitcher Matlack, 33, strike 3, and that retires the side. We're at the top of the 4th. Reggie Smith against John Matlack, pitch, 41, ball 4. Smith walks, he's on at first. Ted Sizemore, good hit run guy. There goes the runner. And a 5 is going to be a ground ball to first base. Runner will advance. Joe Torre now steps in the box with 1 out and a runner in scoring position. Here's a pitch from Matlack, and a 24 will be a hit by pitch, 1 to 9. So Torre got hit quite a lot But it's not going to happen here with that 17. That's going to be a fly ball left field. Holding at second will be Reggie Smith. Here's Melendez, Luis Melendez, with a 22, and that'll be popped up. Foul territory behind the plate. Grody there, and that retires aside. We go to bottom of the fourth. Remember, like and subscribe, comment. Let me know how you're doing. Have you tried this game? You can try it for free. $20, you get all the players. About 100 different seasons to choose from. You can put this on your shelf and have it as one of your games. Put it into your rotation. Wayne Garrett. It's a good game. 44. Now, is it the best game? I don't know. I don't know if there's a best game, really. I think all games have something good about them. I'm something interested about them. So that's going to be a base hit for Wayne Garrett. And now it's Jerry Grody, who's also a good hit and run guy. So we're gonna send Garrett with an 11, and that's going to be a fly ball left field. Next is George Theodore with one out. 65 minus 4. Ooh, a 4 is a home run, but no, it's going to be this could be turned into it's a ground ball to short, so it's going to be a fielder's choice, but maybe a double play, depending on Sizemore's arm. If Sizemore has a strong arm on a 13. And he does not, yes, he does at second base. So he turns, he whips it to first in time, and it's going to be a 6-4-3 double play thanks to Ted Sizemore. So that so the stat-wise, you look at the infielders and how many double plays they turned, and if they turned more double plays than the average, then of course they're going to get that strong arm ability. So these are little tiny tweaks or modifications that turn this game from a basic game to an advanced game, right? Kenny Reitz is going to lead off here in the top of the fifth. No score. Both teams have 2 hits and no errors. And it's going to be a 26, and that's a splits, and that's going to be a little flare that drops in from base hit for Reitz. So the Cardinals have their leadoff batter on. We're going to bunt here, and it's a 4, and that's a good bunt. First baseman Theodore. That's a good bunt. And to the pitcher. And that puts Reitz in scoring position. John Curtis now. John Curtis is not going to get a hit, but you never know. 44, that's going to be strike 3 called. And Reitz just held the bat on his shoulder. I'm sorry, the pitcher, Curtis. And then Brock now with 2 outs. And the 36 will be an out. 18, fly ball. Hahn, right center field, under it, squeezes it, and that retires aside. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Cleon Jones leads off for the Mets with a 51 and a 5, and that's not going to be a strikeout, so it's a 13, and that'll be a grounder to short, scooped up by Tyson. Mike Tyson, the boxer, is playing here, shortstop for us. No error. Good strong throw. And here is Rusty Staub with a 42, and that'll be a 1-14 base on balls, but that's a bouncer to third. 2 down. And Don Hahn is really struggling, batting 140, but he's going to continue to struggle. You pop up center field. Melendez, we go to top of 6, no score. Ted Sizemore is going to lead off here against John Matlack. Pitch. 41. That'll be it's going to be a liner right back to Matlack, and he snags it. Self-defense for Matlack. L1. And Reggie Smith now. Reggie Smith, switch hitter. That's from the right side against the lefty Matlack. On the season, batting .296 with 6 home runs. Pitch. And a 42 will be an out. Will be a tapper to the shortstop who charges it, fires the first in time. Ted Simmons on the season batting .261 with 10 home runs. He was a .270 hitter. 35, and that'll be a bouncer to second base. That retires aside. We go to the bottom of the 6th for the Mets. Ted Martinez leads off. Pitch from Curtis. 24 will be a fly ball down the line, right field, and on the run is Smith, and he catches up to it. Ken Boswell. That's my AC, by the way. Somebody said, "Oh, that noise in the back, it drives me crazy." That's my AC. It's really noisy. It's an old AC, and it's the main piece is right by the door here, and I didn't shut the door. Anyway, Here's Matlack with 2 outs and nobody on. 13. That'll be a strikeout. So he struck out 3 times in a row. Had 34 strikeouts. He struck out half the times he batted. All right, Joe Torre's going to lead off in the top of the 7th inning. No score. So we've got a pitcher's duel with a 56, and that's a swing and a miss. Curveball gets Torre out in front. Luis Melendez now with a 46 and a 6. That's no park home run. A 6 is going to be a foul ball. Souvenir for a lucky fan. Pitch to Melendez again, a 26, and that's a split single, base hit, little ground ball through into left field. So Melendez is on at first, and Kenny Reitz pitch, and that's a 36, which will turn into a fly ball in the gap. On the run is Hahn, and he runs it down. Got a good read on that ball right off the bat. Right off the crack of the bat, you saw Hahn going. Didn't hesitate. And Mike Tyson with a 46. That's a ballpark again. Now this is going to be a base hit, and going to third will be Melendez, and now Tyson's going to try for 2 against the center fielder Hahn. This is another aspect of the advancement. So you're going to look at Hahn's assist rating, and he's got from center field he's 4. So a 1 to 4, and the runner is out, and he is out trying to stretch a single into a double. So it's a single, and it's going to be 8 to 6, and runner is out trying to stretch it. So we go to the bottom of the 7th inning stretch. Go grab that last brewski before they close down the concession. When Garrett's ready, Curtis gets the sign from Simmons. He's ready. Here's the pitch, and that's a 45, which will turn into a line drive and caught. Pull down the line. Well, it's Oppo for Garrett. A rope, but Reitz snags it out of the air. L5. Jerry Grody now. Jerry Grody. The thing with this game, I'm using it as a helper. I'm using Replay Baseball. The thing with Replay Baseball, it doesn't bring up the stats for the players for that game. That's something that like iScore does. That's something that Digital Diamond does. But this game does not do that one, and I do not know why. It doesn't tell you, hey, this is what he's done today. All right. So then I would have to look in the box score, and I don't like to do that. So anyway, here's a pitch. It's a 24. 1 to 4 will be hit by pitch other way, but it's not. It's a fly ball to right, and under it is Smith 2 away, and here's George Theodore with a 15, and that'll be a tapper to Reitz again, and strong throw. Retires aside, top of the 8th, no score. 0-5-0 for the Cardinals, 0-2-0 for the Mets. The pitcher's going to lead off. This is 74, so we're going to go with these pitchers. And that's going to be a ground ball up the middle, and Boswell gets to it, plants, throws him out, 1 down. Lou Brock with a 33, that's line, base hit, center field. And now we're going to have a possibility for a steal. And there he goes, and the throw down could be an error on Grody, although I don't think so. I think Grody's a 1 on the error. He is, so, and it's a 2, so it's going to be a stolen base. So it's a single and a stolen base for Lou Brock. What a surprise. And here's 1 out, 1 on in scoring position against Matlack. It's Ted Sizemore to pitch, and that's a 41, and it will be a fly ball right field. Shallow, so Brock is not going to challenge Staub's arm. And here's Reggie Smith. Now Reggie Smith, probably the most dangerous hitter next to, but more dangerous even than Sizemore. Sizemore batted 270, Reggie Smith 310. So let's walk him and pitch to Simmons, Ted Simmons. Here's a pitch from Matlack, and it's a 63, and he'll get out of the inning. Strikes him out. And that retires aside. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Good move by the manager, Yogi Berra. All right. I'm channeling Yogi Berra. Cleon Jones, 63. Bouncer, third base. Reitz fires in time. 1 down. Staub, 62. Popped up behind the plate near the stands. Catcher, Simmons there. 2 down. And Don Hahn, pitch from Curtis, snake eyes. And that is a swing and a miss, struck him out. No score, top of the 9th. Joe Torre leads off against John Matlack. 51, possible error. No error. Ground ball, Ted Martinez. And Martinez is not a good shortstop. He's got 11 error, but I rolled 17. That's way too high for that. If it was 11 or less, it would have been an error. Melendez is up next against Matlack. 46 with an 8. That's a foul ball. And he's batting righty, so that's on the right side. And Theodore in foul territory grabs it. And now it's with 2 outs. It's going to be Kenny Reitz with a 33. And that's a ground ball up the middle, base hit. So a 2-out single for Reitz, and it's Mike Tyson at the pitch. And a 42 will be a little number in front of the plate. Grody grabs it, fires the first, and that retires the side. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Ted Martinez with a 54. Now it's like a... Okay, this has to do with the catcher rating. This is another element in the... So the catcher rating, his range is an N. Catchers have ranges here. So if he's an N and he is at home, he gets strike 3. If he's away, so that's also home field advantage. He's away, so that'll be ball 4. So he doesn't get the call from the umpire. And it's going to be Kenny Boswell with a good. We got Martinez at first with good speed. Boswell can hit and run. I like to hit and run with 1 out, with no out, I'll bunt. And Boswell's a good bunter. But he's also if I get him the second, I can pinch hit. Okay, let's see what happens. We're going to bunt. And that's a good bunt. We'll move him up, and now comes Matlack. We're going to have to pinch hit for Matlack here with the winning run at second base, and we're going to call on Felix Mian. Hasn't played in a long time. A couple of weeks, probably, at least. We're going to call on, who are we going to call on? I got a bunch of lefties. You know what? I got Barrelson there. I got Duffy Dyer. Terrible hitting. Terrible. Mian, 268. I'm going to call on, I got 2 catchers. I'll call on Duffy Dyer to hit. Because anybody can hit better than Matlack. Matlack can't hit for beans. So maybe Duffy will be the hero today. All right, let's do it. John Curtis against Duffy Dyer. Pinch hitting for the pitcher, John Matlack. Oh, it's a 14, and that'll be a fly ball left field. Brock towards the line, makes the catch. It's going to bring up the top of the order against John Curtis here. Wayne Garrett. Pitch, and that's a 34, and it will be a fly ball in the gap. On the run is Melendez, and Melendez tracks it down. And that ends the inning. We're going to get a new pitcher for the Mets. Who's it going to be? Bob Apodaca. Or will it be Miller? Miller is the guy who pitched the most. So let's call on Miller. Although Miller struggles. He's been struggling this season. He's got a 6.35 ERA, but we're going to keep on using him. Let's see what kind of stuff he will have today. Oh, he's going to have his C stuff, so he's in trouble already. And Curtis we're going to pinch hit for Curtis. We're going to call on Bake McBride. Though he does not have good stuff. It's called a bullpen roll, right? To see what kind of stuff your pitcher has that day. Does he have his best stuff, his mediocre stuff? That's another aspect of this game that's kind of cool, right? But it's very straightforward. And then, you can, if you didn't play with all those things, the game would still be fine. You don't need to play with all those things. But it just adds a little extra to it, to the experience. Bake McBride leading off. Top of 10th, pitch, 33, base hit. McBride is on at first. Brock is going to bunt. And that's a strikeout. 2-strike bunt goes foul. Ted Sizemore. He's a good hit and run guy. There goes the runner. And 11 is going to be a fly ball to the left. 2 down. And now it's Reggie Smith with a 12, and that'll be ball 4. So that puts the the go-ahead run at second base for Ted Simmons. Bob Miller gets a sign from Grody, the pitch, and 42. Miller never lets you down. That's a base on balls. Bases are loaded for Joe Torre. Who are we going to go to? We got to grab somebody else here, because otherwise we're doomed. We're going to get a guy named Aker. I think it's Aker is how you pronounce his name, not Acker. Sometimes it's Acker, sometimes it's Aker. I think it's Aker. All right. This is about 2 years before my time, 74. He's going to have his B stuff. Let's grab that. There we go. So Jack Aker against Joe Torre. Bases loaded, 2 outs, top of the 10th. See what happens. Still on the dice. Pitch. And the dice are going to say that that's going to be a fly ball center field. And Han's going to get under it. That retires the side. We go to the bottom of the 10th. Still no score in this game. The Cardinals do have 8 hits, by the way. All right. And it's going to be Al Rabowski. He's the main guy for the Cardinals. Lefty Rabowski will come in. He stomps around he was known for stomping around the Mad Hungarian, right? He was known for stomping around the mound. See what kind of stuff he will have. He will have his A stuff. And it's Jerry Grody. Pitch. 45. And that'll be a fly ball. So he's a fly ball pitcher to left field. So fly ball pitchers will give up more fly balls. Fly ball hitters will do the same. They'll hit more fly balls. Theodore with a 65 -4. And that's going to be another pop-up center field. Melendez, 2 away. And Cleon Jones with a 36, and that'll be another fly ball to left field. And that retires the side. Easy inning for Al Rabowski. Joe Torre, no. It's going to be Luis Melendez leads off here. Excellent game. All right, we're having a blast with this game today. 0-0 tie in the top of the 11th with Luis Melendez leading off against Jack Aker, I would say, is his name. Here's the pitch. And at 51, that's a possible error. But first you need that KD check, which is way too high. It's a 1-2. 1-2 would be a strikeout and then no error. So we're going to roll again, and that's going to be no error there. I think whatever it is, nobody's going to make an error at that. That was way too high. So that's bouncer to second base. Boswell will handle it. Kenny Reitz now. Reitz been getting on base. Yeah, he's got 2 hits today. Pitch from Acker. 55, and that's going to be a base hit. Lines 1-2, left center field, and he's on at first, his 3rd hit of the game. Here's Mike Tyson now. We're going to swing away with Tyson. Not a good hit and run guy. Let me see who I got available to pinch hit, even though the pitcher, Rabowski's up next, so I'm going to definitely pinch hit for him. So, Jack Aker. I got a guy named, let's call on Jim Dwyer to swing away. I just want to make sure I got a second baseman because that's happened to me a few times. Wait a second. Yeah, I have a second baseman. Okay, all right. So let's grab Jim Dwyer. There he is, Jim Dwyer, with 85 at bats on the season. He was a pinch hitter, so he's gonna step in there. He's a lefty, and not a good hit and run guy, but he has a little bit of power. And gonna let him swing away. Here's a pitch, and that's a 42, which will be a base on ball. So that's gonna put 2 guys on here, 2 men on. And Al Rabowski. Now, usually pitchers can. Let's look at Rabowski's card. He's a 7. He's a 7. So then what is that? That tells us that he can hit. So he picked up some hits. Look at that. And he can bunt as well. So we're gonna let him bunt. We're gonna be conservative. Let him bunt. And he lays it down. It's a good bunt. Catcher picks it up over to first, and that puts runners on. That was a pitcher hitting card. Those are free. You can try this game for free. I believe they give you a couple of... You can also try Field Day for free, too. That's another game that's by the same designer. So Lou Brock is up now. He's got 2 hits today. So now the Mets are in trouble. Second and third, 2 outs. A lefty's up. And you know what? We're going to call on Tug McGraw. And we're not going to call on Tug McGraw. We're going to do all that. We're going to leave Aker in there, and we are going to walk Brock and pitch to Ted Sizemore. Now, let me see. Do I have anybody else that can? Sizemore is what was Sizemore playing for me today? He's my second baseman. The guy I pinch hit for was my shortstop. So I have somebody to play shortstop, and I have somebody to play second base. Do I want to bring in a lefty here? A guy named Cruz, 260 hitter. Let's call on Cruz to pinch hit. So let's do that. We're going to call on, what is it, Jose Cruz, I think it was, that played on the Cardinals. Yeah, Jose Cruz, lefty. He's going to pinch hit with the bases loaded. He's going to get that splits advantage, a big splits advantage. Now here in this situation, I could call on my boy McGraw, which I will. I'll call on McGraw here. That eliminates that splits advantage. But now we could go to a righty. Let's look and see what they got on the righty. We could call back. Where's my boy here? Tug McGraw. There he is. So let's see if we're going to call back a pinch hitter. So McGraw has his best stuff, his A bullpen stuff. And let's see. We're going to call on Hickman. And take back. We're going to take back the splits advantage from the Mets. This is the first year for Keith Hernandez, by the way. Jim Hickman. He was a guy who was well traveled for sure, journeyman type. He's been with a bunch of teams from my memory. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. So Hickman is going to come, and we take back a single splits advantage. They had a double splits advantage with Cruz over the righty. That's 25 and 26 for Cruz, but only 26 for Hickman. So anyway, let's see what happens. It's going to be Tug McGraw, Jim Hickman, top of the 11th, bases loaded, 2 outs, no score in this game. And let's do it. Dice will let us know, and that's going to be a 45, and it'll be a bouncer to third. Garrett will take it himself, step on third base, and that retires the side. All right, so we need a shortstop and a second baseman. We're going to send Heinzelman to second base. And we're going to put Heidemann, 2 German guys. So Heidemann and Heinzelman at second and short. And it's going to be Rusty Staub leading off against Al Hrabowski. Because we kept Al Hrabowski in there. We just bunted with him. All right, let's do it. Here's the pitch, and that's a 51 possible error. And, no error again. First baseman, Torrey. Just no way Torrey has such a high error number. He's an 8, pretty high, 8 for first baseman. But I rolled very high. So he'll make that play himself. He'll flip to the pitcher covering, actually. And 1 out in the bottom of the 11th inning, Don Hahn. 36, and that's a fly ball. Left field, backing up is Brock, and Ted Martinez with a 46, no ballpark home run, but a 14 is going to be a pop-up. And that's the right side, first baseman Torrey in foul ground, and he'll squeeze it. All right, so it is leading off. It will be Reggie Smith against Tug McGraw. And it's a 35, and a 35 will be a bouncer to third. Garrett with the good throw. Ted Simmons now with a 41. That's ball 4, so he walks. Not a speedy guy. Joe Torre And the pitch to Torrey, 35, will be a ground ball to third. Goes to second for one. Back to first. Double play. 5-4-3. Round the horn. All right. Ted Martinez now. Nope. Kenny Boswell. Lefty. Let's see if I can have a righty. I don't have too many righties. I have Mian, but I think Mian is hurt. So we're going to just let Boswell hit. And it's a 21, which will be a fly ball center field. Next is McGraw. Got to let McGraw hit. What number does McGraw have hitting-wise? He's a 2. He is a 2, so we're going to get... Pitcher batting 2 card. There it is. Generic card, pitcher batting 2. And it's a 42, which will lead to a base on balls. So McGraw walks. And McGraw's slow. All pitchers are considered slow. All right, so Hrabowski's tired, so we're going to go and grab a guy named Mike Garman. So Mike Garman comes in. There he is. He's a righty. He will be facing Garrett, the lefty. Let's see what kind of stuff he will have. He will have his best stuff. He will face the lefty Garrett. But with one out, Garrett's going to... No, not going to hit and run. He's going to swing away. And that's a 66. And that is a drive in the gap. That's going to split the outfielders and roll to the wall. A 9. A 9 is going to be, oh boy, let's see. I can run with risk with a strong or an A arm. A arm is 1 to 5, 1 to 3. Or can I hold up with one out? What do I do here? Oh, if it's okay, so let's see, hold on a second. So this is to the right fielder. So if the right fielder has a W arm, they'll score on Smith. So let's see, does Smith have a weak arm? That's my question right now. So there's a double in the gap. Smith has an average arm where I can try to score. A 1 to 3 will be out. So I'm going to try to score him with one out here. Because next I have Grody, then I have Theodore. I could pinch hit, but I do have a lefty. They'll probably bring in the lefty. You know what? I'm going to roll. I'm going to roll for the score. 1 to 3, he's out. 4 to 6, the ball game is over. And the throw to the plate, and the tag is late, and the Mets win it. Tug McGraw scores from first base on an RBI game-winning double by Wayne Garrett in the right center field gap. And Smith to Heinzelman with the relay, and Simmons with the late tag, and the Mets win it by a score of 1-0. The winner will be Tug McGraw. Al Hrabowski takes the loss. John Matlack is the player of the game. Matlack, let's look at him. He's got a 1.70 ERA, 7 hits in 9 innings pitched, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Mike Garman. And that's it, my friends. Kenny Reitz had 3 hits for the Cardinals, and Garrett had 2 hits for the Mets. Raised his batting average to 222. He was a 224 hitter. But he did have extra base hits. He did have 40 extra base hits. No, wait. No. 30 extra base hits. He had 30 extra base hits. So anyway, thanks for watching. This is Tony Porter. Remember to like and subscribe and let me know what you think, and ask any questions, and kind of join Universal Baseball Association Facebook group and Fall Classic Baseball group. And there's another 10 groups as well. We got about a good number of members sprinkled throughout all the different groups. And I will talk to you guys soon, all right? Be good, stay safe out there, keep on rolling and relaxing, and have fun. Take care.